Dr. Sarah Chen worked alone in her small clinic. It was late at night, and rain was falling hard outside. She lived in a quiet village far from the big city. Sarah was 28 years old and very kind. She helped anyone who needed medical care, even if they had no money. Sarah's clinic was small but clean. She had basic medical supplies and a few beds for patients. Most people in the village were poor farmers. They trusted Sarah because she never asked for much money. Sometimes she worked for free. That night was different. The storm was very bad. Thunder and lightning filled the sky. Sarah was reading a medical book when she heard a loud noise outside. It sounded like a car accident. She quickly put on her coat and took her medical bag. Someone might be hurt, she said to herself. Sarah was not afraid of storms or darkness. She always helped people in need. Outside, the rain was so heavy she could barely see. She walked toward the road where the noise came from. There, she found a big black car crashed into a tree. Smoke was coming from the car. Sarah ran to the car. Inside, she saw a man. He was about 35 years old, wearing an expensive suit. Blood was on his face and hands. He was not moving. Sir, can you hear me? Sarah called out. The man opened his eyes slowly. They were dark and strong, even though he was hurt. Help me, he whispered. Sarah did not waste time asking questions. She helped the man out of the car. He was tall and heavy, but she was strong. My clinic is close, she said. I can help you there. The man could walk a little with Sarah's help. They moved slowly through the rain to her clinic. Sarah did not know that this man would change her life forever. Inside the clinic, Sarah helped the man sit on a bed. Under the bright light, she could see his injuries better. He had cuts on his face, arms, and chest. His left hand was badly hurt. What is your name? Sarah asked while she cleaned his wounds. The man looked at her for a long moment. Marcus, he said simply. Well, Marcus, you're lucky. Your injuries are not too serious, but they need care. This will hurt a little, Sarah said as she started cleaning the cuts. Marcus did not make any sound of pain. He just watched Sarah work. She was gentle but quick. Her hands were steady and sure. You are a good doctor, Marcus said quietly. Thank you. I learned from my father. He was a doctor too, Sarah replied. She continued bandaging his wounds with clean white cloth. As Sarah worked, she noticed Marcus's hands. Even with the injuries, she could see they were not the hands of a farmer or worker. They were smooth and clean. His clothes were very expensive too. Are you from the city? Sarah asked. Yes, Marcus answered. He did not say more. Sarah finished bandaging all his wounds. You should rest here tonight. The storm is too dangerous to travel. Marcus tried to sit up. I have important business. People are waiting for me. Your business can wait. Your health cannot, Sarah said firmly. You lost some blood. You need to rest. For the first time, Marcus smiled a little. No one had spoken to him like this in years. Most people were afraid of him or wanted something from him. You are not afraid of me, Marcus said. Should I be? Sarah asked, surprised. Marcus looked at her kind face. No, you should not be afraid. That night, Marcus slept in Sarah's clinic. She stayed nearby to watch him. She did not know that outside in the storm, men in black cars were looking for their boss. When morning came, the storm was over. Sunlight came through the clinic windows. Sarah made tea and simple breakfast for Marcus. How do you feel? She asked. Much better, thanks to you, Marcus said. His wounds looked good under Sarah's care. Marcus ate the simple food gratefully. In his normal life, he ate in expensive restaurants. But this simple meal made by Sarah's kind hands tasted better than anything. I must pay you for your help, Marcus said, taking out a wallet. That is not necessary. I help people because I want to help, not for money, Sarah said. Marcus was surprised again. In his world, everyone wanted money. Everyone had a price. But this simple village doctor was different. At least let me give something to your clinic. You need better equipment, Marcus said, looking around. My equipment works fine. It helps people, and that is what matters, Sarah replied. As they talked, Sarah heard cars outside. Many cars. She looked out the window and saw something that made her heart stop. Black cars surrounded her clinic. Men in dark suits were getting out. They all looked serious and dangerous. Some had weapons. Marcus, Sarah said, her voice shaking. There are many men outside. They have guns. Marcus stood up quickly. For the first time since the accident, he looked like a different person. His eyes became hard and cold. Do not be afraid, Sarah. They work for me, Marcus said calmly. Sarah's eyes became wide. They work for you? Who are you really? Before Marcus could answer, the clinic door opened. A big man in a black suit came in.
Boss, we found you.
Are you hurt? I am fine, Vincent. Dr. Chin took good care of me, Marcus said. More men came into the small clinic. They filled the room with their presence. Sarah felt very small and scared. Boss, we were worried. When we could not find you after the storm, Vincent said. I know. But I am safe now, Marcus said. He looked at Sarah, who was standing very still, trying to understand what was happening. Sarah, Marcus said gently, I need to tell you the truth. My full name is Marcus King. I own King Industries. Sarah had heard of King Industries. It was one of the biggest companies in the country. Marcus King was a powerful businessman. Some people called him dangerous. You are the Marcus King? The businessman? Sarah asked quietly.
Yes.
And these men protect me because my business can be dangerous. I have enemies who want to hurt me, Marcus explained. Sarah looked at all the men with guns in her small clinic. Yesterday, Marcus was just a hurt man who needed help. Today, he was one of the most powerful men in the country. Why did you not tell me? Sarah asked. Because you treated me like a normal person. You helped me because I was hurt, not because I am rich. Do you know how rare that is? Marcus said. Vincent stepped forward. Boss, we should go. It is not safe to stay in one place too long. Marcus nodded, but he did not want to leave Sarah. This woman had saved his life and asked for nothing in return. She was pure and good in a world full of greed and lies. Sarah, I want to do something for you. Let me give you money to improve your clinic. Or come with me to the city. I can give you a job at the best hospital, Marcus offered. Sarah shook her head. I belong here. These people need me. I cannot leave them. Marcus admired her even more. She chose to help poor farmers instead of taking his offer of wealth. Then let me at least send medical supplies for your clinic, Marcus said. Sarah thought about it. Better supplies would help her save more lives. If it will help my patients, then yes.
Thank you.
Marcus smiled. Vincent, make arrangements for medical supplies to be sent here every month. Yes, boss, Vincent said. As Marcus prepared to leave, he took Sarah's hand gently. Thank you for saving my life. Not just my body, but something else too. Sarah did not understand what he meant, but she saw something soft in his eyes. If you ever need anything, call this number. Marcus gave her a card with his phone number. I hope you will be safe, Sarah said. Marcus and his men left in their black cars. The clinic became quiet again. Sarah looked at the card in her hand. She felt like she had just lived through a dream. 3 weeks passed. True to his word, Marcus sent medical supplies to Sarah's clinic. New equipment, medicines, and everything she needed arrived. Sarah could help more people now. But something else came with the supplies. Danger. Other powerful men learned that Marcus King had been to Sarah's village. Some of these men were Marcus's enemies in business. They thought Sarah might be important to Marcus. One evening, Sarah was closing her clinic when 3 men in suits came to see her. "Dr. Chin, we need to talk," said the leader, a man with cold eyes named Ray. "If you need medical help, I can help you." "But I am closing now," Sarah said politely. "We do not need medical help. We need information about Marcus King," Ray said. Sarah's heart started beating fast. "I do not know what you mean." "Do not lie to us. We know he was here. We know you helped him. Tell us about his business, his plans," Ray demanded. "I treated his injuries and he left." "I know nothing about his business," Sarah said truthfully. Ray stepped closer. "Marcus King is a dangerous man. He has hurt many people. If you are smart, you will help us stop him." "I do not know anything," Sarah repeated. "Think carefully, Dr. Chen. We can make your life very difficult if you do not cooperate," Ray threatened. After the men left, Sarah felt scared. She had lived peacefully in her village for years. Now she was caught between powerful men she did not understand. That night, Sarah could not sleep. She thought about calling Marcus, but she did not want to bring more trouble to her village. Before we start, we'd love for you to watch the story carefully and, at the end, rate it from 1 to 10 in the comments. Your opinion helps us understand what kind of stories you enjoy and guides us to create even better content for you. The next day, Sarah tried to work normally. She helped sick children and gave medicine to elderly people. She tried to forget about the threatening men. But that evening, as Sarah walked home from her clinic, she saw the same 3 men waiting for her. "Dr. Chen, have you thought about our offer?" Ray asked. "I told you I know nothing about Mr. King's business," Sarah said. "That is unfortunate," Ray said.
He made a signal to his men.
One man grabbed Sarah's arms. The other took her medical bag and threw it on the ground. "Let me go," Sarah shouted. "You will come with us. Maybe a few days away from your clinic will help you remember what Marcus King told you," Ray said. Sarah tried to fight, but the men were too strong. They started pulling her toward their car. Suddenly, bright lights shone on them.
Many cars surrounded the area.
Men in black suits jumped out quickly. "Let her go," Vincent's voice shouted. Ray and his men were surrounded. They had to release Sarah. "Vincent, how did you know?" Sarah asked, surprised and relieved. "Boss has men watching you. He knew you might be in danger because of your connection to him," Vincent explained. Ray was angry but scared. He knew he could not fight Marcus King's men. "This is not over," he said as his men retreated. After Ray left, Sarah sat on the ground, shaking. The danger was real. Helping Marcus had brought enemies to her peaceful village. "Dr. Chen, boss wants to see you." "It is not safe for you here anymore," Vincent said gently. Sarah looked at her clinic, her village, her life. Everything was changing because she had helped an injured man in a storm. Vincent took Sarah to the city, to Marcus's office building. It was the tallest building she had ever seen. Inside, everything was expensive and beautiful. Marcus's office was on the top floor. When Sarah entered, Marcus stood up quickly from his desk. "Sarah, are you hurt?" "Vincent told me what happened," Marcus said with concern. "I am fine, but I am scared." "Why do these men want to hurt me?" Sarah asked. Marcus looked sad. "Because they think you are important to me. And they are right." Sarah looked confused. "Important? We barely know each other." "Sarah, in my world, people only care about money and power. You are the first person in years who helped me without wanting anything. You showed me kindness when I was hurt. You made me remember what it feels like to be human," Marcus explained. "But your enemies will hurt innocent people to get to you." My village could be in danger, Sarah said. That is why I want you to stay here, where I can protect you, Marcus said. Sarah shook her head. This is not my world. I belong with my patients in my village. Your village is not safe anymore. Ray will come back. He will hurt people to make you talk, Marcus said seriously. Sarah felt trapped. She could not go home because it was dangerous. She could not stay in the city because it was not her life. There is another way, Marcus said quietly. Help me end this threat. Ray is not just after information about me. He is trying to destroy my business and hurt innocent people. If we stop him, you can go home safely. How can I help? I am just a doctor, Sarah said. You are more than just a doctor. You have something Ray does not expect, a pure heart and a brave spirit, Marcus said. Marcus explained his plan to Sarah. Ray was planning to attack one of Marcus's charity hospitals. This hospital gave free medical care to poor people. Ray wants to make me look bad. If he destroys the hospital and hurts patients, people will blame me, Marcus explained. That is horrible. We must stop him, Sarah said immediately. I knew you would say that. This is why you are special, Sarah. Marcus smiled. The plan was dangerous but simple. Sarah would go to the charity hospital as a volunteer doctor. Ray's men would recognize her and try to kidnap her there. When they came for her, Marcus's men would be ready. It is too dangerous. You could be hurt, Marcus said, having second thoughts. Those patients need protection. I am a doctor. It is my duty to help, Sarah said bravely. Marcus looked at this amazing woman. She was willing to risk her life for people she had never met. I will have 50 men around the hospital. You will be safe, Marcus promised. I trust you, Sarah said simply. Those 3 words meant everything to Marcus. In his world of lies and betrayal, Sarah trusted him completely. The charity hospital was in a poor part of the city. Sarah worked there for 2 days, helping sick people and waiting for Ray's men to come. On the second evening, as Sarah was leaving the hospital, she saw familiar faces. Ray and his men were waiting. Dr. Chen, what a surprise to find you here, Ray said with a fake smile. I am volunteering at this hospital, Sarah said, trying to stay calm. How convenient. You will come with us now. We have more questions about your friend Marcus King, Ray said. His men moved to grab Sarah. But this time, Sarah was ready. She had a small device that would signal Marcus's men. She pressed the button. Within seconds, the area was full of Marcus's security men. They came from everywhere, rooftops, cars, nearby buildings. Ray was trapped, but he was desperate and dangerous. You think this is over? Ray shouted. I have men inside the hospital. If I do not walk away free, they will hurt the patients. Sarah's heart stopped. There were children and sick people inside the hospital. You are lying, Marcus's voice said. He had arrived with more men. Am I? Check the children's ward. Ray smiled evilly. Marcus spoke into his radio. After a moment, his face became dark. There are armed men in the hospital. They have hostages. Sarah did not think about her safety. She ran toward the hospital entrance. Sarah, no. Marcus called after her. But Sarah was already inside. She was a doctor, and patients needed her help. Inside the hospital, Sarah found Ray's men holding doctors and patients hostage in the children's ward. There were 10 sick children and their mothers. Let the children go, Sarah said to the armed men. Take me instead. Dr. Chen, how nice of you to join us, one of Ray's men said. Outside, Marcus was going crazy with worry. His men surrounded the hospital, but they could not attack with hostages inside. Sarah stayed calm. She was scared, but the children needed her to be strong. The children are sick. They need their medicine. Let me give it to them, Sarah asked. No tricks, the man warned, but he let Sarah move to the children. As Sarah gave medicine to the children, she whispered to the mothers, "When I say now, take your children and lie on the floor." Sarah had noticed something. The hospital's fire alarm system was near her. If she could set it off, the sprinklers would start, and in the confusion, the hostages could escape. She moved slowly toward the alarm. The gunmen were watching the windows and doors, waiting for Marcus's men to attack. Sarah took a deep breath and pulled the fire alarm. Loud sirens started ringing. Water sprayed from the ceiling sprinklers. The room became chaos.
Now,
Sarah shouted to the mothers. The mothers grabbed their children and dropped to the floor. Sarah covered as many children as she could with her body. At that moment, Marcus's men crashed through the windows and doors. There was fighting, but it was quick. Ray's men were overwhelmed. Through all the noise and confusion, Sarah held the children and made sure they were safe. When the fighting stopped, Marcus ran to Sarah. She was wet from the sprinklers and shaking, but she was alive. "Sarah, are you hurt?" Marcus asked, holding her gently. Are the children okay?" Sarah asked. Marcus smiled. Even after facing danger, Sarah's first thought was about the patients. "All the children are safe." "You saved them," Marcus said. Ray and all his men were arrested. The police found evidence that Ray had been planning to hurt many innocent people, not just to get revenge on Marcus. Sarah had to give a statement to the police, but after that, she was free to go. "I can finally go home to my village," Sarah said to Marcus. They were standing in Marcus's office, looking out at the city lights. "Sarah, before you go, I want to ask you something," Marcus said nervously. Sarah looked at him. This powerful businessman suddenly looked like a shy boy. "What is it?" "These past weeks with you have been the best of my life. You make me want to be a better man. I know we come from different worlds, but—" Marcus stopped. "But what?" Sarah asked gently. "I love you, Sarah. I know it seems impossible. You are good and pure, and I am just a businessman with enemies. But you changed my heart," Marcus said. Sarah was quiet for a long moment. She looked at this man who commanded hundreds of people, who had power and money beyond imagination. But when he looked at her, she saw the same hurt man she had bandaged in the storm. "Marcus, I care about you too. But can love survive in your dangerous world?" Sarah asked. "I do not know, but I want to try. With you, I want to try to build something good," Marcus said. Sarah thought about her quiet village, her simple life, her peaceful clinic. Then she thought about Marcus, complicated, powerful, but good at heart. "If we try this, I have conditions," Sarah said. "Anything," Marcus said immediately. "I keep my clinic in the village. I will not abandon my patients. Of course, I will build a road to make travel easier and provide the best medical supplies," Marcus agreed. "And I want to help you make your business more about helping people like the charity hospital." Marcus smiled. "I was hoping you would say that. I want to build hospitals and schools. I want to use my money to help people, not just make more money." "Then yes, Marcus King. I will try this dangerous thing called love with you," Sarah said. Marcus took her hands, the same hands that had bandaged his wounds and saved his life in more ways than one. 6 months later, Sarah divided her time between her village clinic and the city, where she helped Marcus transform his business. Marcus kept all his promises. He built a good road to Sarah's village and provided the best medical equipment. More importantly, he started using his wealth to help people. They built 5 new charity hospitals and 10 schools for poor children. Marcus discovered that helping others made him happier than making money ever did. Sarah taught Marcus to find joy in simple things: a child's smile after getting medicine, a family's gratitude, the sunrise over her village. Marcus taught Sarah that sometimes you need power and resources to help people in big ways. Together, they could save more lives than either could alone. The village people were surprised when Sarah brought home such a powerful boyfriend, but they saw how Marcus looked at their doctor with love and respect. They saw how he helped their community without asking for anything in return. One evening, as they sat in Sarah's simple clinic watching the sunset, Marcus said, "Do you ever regret helping a stranger in a storm?" Sarah smiled and touched the scar on Marcus's hand where she had bandaged his deepest cut. "Never. That storm brought me the greatest adventure of my life," she said. "And the greatest love of mine," Marcus replied. They had learned that love could indeed survive in a dangerous world, especially when two people were willing to make sacrifices for each other and for others. Marcus had found something more valuable than all his wealth, a woman who loved him for his heart, not his money. Sarah had found a partner who shared her dream of helping people and had the power to make that dream bigger than she ever imagined. The businessman and the village doctor proved that sometimes the most unlikely love stories are the most beautiful ones. 2 years later, Sarah and Marcus were married in a simple ceremony in Sarah's village. All the villagers came, along with Marcus's business partners and the children from their hospitals. Sarah wore a simple white dress and carried flowers from her village garden. Marcus wore a suit, but he had never looked happier or more relaxed. During their wedding speech, Sarah said, "2 years ago, I bandaged the wounds of a stranger. Today, I marry the man who healed my heart." Marcus said, "Sarah saved my life twice, once with her medical skills and once with her love. She taught me that true wealth is not money, but the lives we touch and the love we share." Their story became legend in the business world and in Sarah's village. People said that sometimes fate brings two people together in the strangest ways, through a storm, through danger, through bandages and blood. But Sarah and Marcus knew the truth. Love does not come from fate alone. It comes from choice, the choice to care for others, the choice to be brave when love seems impossible, and the choice to build something beautiful together. Every night, Marcus still looked at the small scar on his hand where Sarah had bandaged his deepest wound. It reminded him of the night his real life began, not when he became rich and powerful, but when a kind doctor in a small village chose to help a stranger in need. And every morning, Sarah woke up grateful for the storm that brought her the love of her life and the chance to help people in ways she never imagined possible. They lived happily, helping others, loving each other, and proving that sometimes the best fairy tales begin with a simple act of caring for someone in need. Now that you've seen the whole story, we would really appreciate it if you rate it from 1 to 10 in the comments. Your thoughts help us improve and make sure we bring you the kind of stories you truly enjoy.